What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to the Sooner Surge. It's a great Monday night in Oklahoma. Welcome to our Sooner Surge nightly 9:30 show where we talk all things Sooner, specifically everything going on right now, Sooner football. And I see Dow post with the comment about interesting they put Casey Thompson and Danny Okoye as a thumbnail. Let me just say this. I haven't even spoken to Hunter about the thumbnail, so it has nothing to do. If you're implying that I chose that, that's not it. Jay, you know why probably.
I know why it was chosen. I know why he did it. It's obvious. OU's ranked number 16 in the AP poll. He took both number 16s. He took the offensive 16 and the defensive 16. OU came in at number 16 in the AP poll. That's the reasoning behind it, Dow Post. But there it is. OU's number 16 in the AP poll today. Came out today. Not surprised, not shocked. I wouldn't even say it really even matters at this point. But that's where they're ranked in the first AP poll.
Shocked, Jay?
I mean, no,
shocked.
Not at all.
Shocked that they're the 8th SEC school in the poll.
I've seen a lot of people putting them at 7 or 8, so I'm not shocked. Nationally wise, I'm just not shocked about it.
I think it's perfect for OU to be there behind 7 SEC schools ranked at 16th. I think that's a lot of people would say that that's going to maybe light a fire. But you also got to think how many SEC schools in the top 12 then? There's a lot, Jay. 5 could very well make the playoff.
Yeah, and Sooner fans, am I the only one that doesn't care about the AP or coaches poll?
I don't either.
Neither one of them matter in the grand scheme of things. CFP's the only one. I agree. I see Keaton's comment. I'm not going to read it, but that's funny comment, Keaton. Always, right? Polls do not matter because when you got the schedule Oklahoma has and you're playing 6 top 15 teams, it'll work itself out if you're wanting to be a player. It doesn't matter. This is not the days of the BCS where if you're 16, you got to hope for a lot of teams to lose in front of you. It's not the same. It's different. What's up, Johnny? Appreciate you joining us tonight from Cali. Let's go OU. That's right, baby.
Yeah, Monty asked a question earlier about that thing that was mentioned a week ago. And no comment on that right now. Am I the only one that doesn't care about that was just on there. Sooner fan asks, are we ever going to get an official word on Jaden Gibson?
Hey, tomorrow Brent Venables talks to the media.
Correct.
I would think it would be asked. Now, I don't know what extent they'll answer. I really don't know. Nor do I really. I mean, I'm at the point with injuries. I don't care till game 1. I see if players on the field. I'm almost to that point personally, where it's just like, let's suit it up against Temple and see what happens. And it's not just injuries to me. I mean, we're going to get into this because this has been all over every radio outlet, every social media outlet, every college football podcast I've seen, okay? They've mentioned this about Jackson Arnold not performing well. Let me ask you this first off. Couple of things. First, he hasn't started but 1 game in his career. Did anybody on here think he would be lighting up this defense? If you did, then our defense at Oklahoma, the defense would not be very good, in my opinion. It's an experienced defense. To me, they should be giving him issues. And I think Brent Venables and company and Zach Alley is probably throwing as much as they can at Jackson Arnold on defense. I think they're throwing him the gamut.
Look, I don't want to spend tonight doing this because I've spent all day in the Discord doing it. But for everyone to just basically discount, and I know Josh Pate talked about it too, Jay. You sent me a link where he talked about it and said how Jackson Arnold struggled mightily in the spring and he's still struggling from what he heard. Again, you look at the scrimmage Friday, there was one really horrific play he made, but the other interception, according to everyone who was there, was a perfect pass. And I'm going to say this, Jay. They say the spring. Who had a better spring game, Arnold or Hawkins?
Hey, real quick, I'm not even going to
I'm asking.
I don't even want to go down the road of comparing quarterbacks right now. But, Ricky, I see this, and I had heard this too. Kilgunny saying Hawkins outplaying Arnold in practice. Listen, I really, I don't know how to put this, but I really could. I don't care a whole lot about it until I see them both on the field in a game situation, because they're pretty equal experience-wise. Neither one of them have played. Arnold hasn't played that much. So if you want to say, well, they're about equal experience-wise, you're right. But here's the thing. Jackson Arnold out of high school was a 5-star quarterback. 5-star, okay?
Hawkins was a low 4-star.
I think a lot of people right now, for some reason, are down and out on Jackson Arnold.
Because of the media.
I don't understand. Now, listen, did he have a bad scrimmage? Yeah, he probably did. He might have. But the defense is really good. They were out a lot of players on offense. And if you're going to make mistakes, make them now. I don't know. I did not expect Jackson Arnold to go through all preseason and not have an interception in scrimmages and practices. So
I get that Sam Bradford was a 3-star. I don't need you to tell me that. And for great God to say Josh Pate is correct. Why? First off, Jackson Arnold didn't have a horrible spring game. Yeah, he was 10 of 20. He did throw for 233 yards, no interceptions, by the way. And the other thing is, I do not understand, just because everyone in the media is saying, oh, man, Jackson Arnold's not the guy everyone thought he was. I don't care. It's ones versus ones. Michael Hawkins is going against 2s. You cannot compare it, guys.
Hook 'em. If that's the case, that's an awful fall camp so far for Texas with the injuries, man. The injury bug's out there big time. And, hey, here's the thing, too. Yeah, Damon says that, too. He agrees with you there. Here's the thing. I think everybody on this chat right now, everybody, you included probably, Jeremy, would agree that the one thing that Jackson Arnold's got to clean up is turnovers. Just based off the game he played. Because he hasn't played.
Based off the bowl game, yes.
Based off the bowl game and based on what you heard on his scrimmage, that's probably the one thing he has to be better at, and that's turning the ball over. You cannot win in the SEC if you turn the ball over. Period.
Two things.
That's got to be that. If that's happening, yes, he's got to clean it up.
2 things. Fanstop said defense is always ahead of offense at this time. I agree. Second of all, Ricky McCoy says that a 2-hour scrimmage and one play, over 20 yards. So it doesn't sound like Hawkins was lighting it up, but I do agree with Bobby. First off, I don't want anyone to sit here and think that I'm a Michael Hawkins, that I'm someone who's going to bash Michael Hawkins. I think Michael Hawkins is unbelievable, especially with his legs. I think he is phenomenal. But I agree with Bobby to sit here and say he's good. He should be starting over Jackson Arnold is maybe the most ridiculous football take I've ever heard from Sooner fans when we haven't even seen him play yet.
Here's the thing, though, Jeremy. You act like this is new. Oklahoma backup quarterback, it always starts early every year, okay? Every year. I don't think every August, September, most people are talking more about the backup than they are. Do you remember Baker Mayfield at Oklahoma? When he was quarterback, people wanted Kyler to play a lot of time. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's always something.
It wasn't like it is now. But, hey, it just baffles me, Jay.
Wait,
it
real
just
quick.
Baffles me.
Get to this, because I agree with this, Greg God. And this is something I will take it to the bank, take it to the grave. I agree all day on this. And this is not just quarterback position. It's every position at Oklahoma made the best player play. I think it's Jackson Arnold right now. I think Jackson Arnold, with his talent, has not played a real game. It was a bowl game with a bunch of guys that were injured and they were filling in an offensive line. I mean, so I think Jackson Arnold will be fine.
Again, the main problem I have is it's really the only one people are calling right. Like, I mean, there's other positions that are way more wide open. There's other positions that are more wide open. So I don't really understand, again, what people are basing it on. A source or two that's at practice, it's hard to judge a scrimmage. So,
hey, let me say this before we can kind of move on from this. Well, we can
please move on.
But let me say this. It's that guys, we can argue it all we want. Everybody can argue it. Jackson Arnold is going to get his chance in games, okay? In the first 3 games of the year, they are not playing good teams. Now, here's what I'll say. If for some reason, Jackson Arnold gets out there and is throwing 2 to 3 picks a game, yeah, you might see Michael Hawkins. I don't know. But until that happens, I'm going Jackson Arnold. This is Jackson Arnold's team. Dylan Gabriel left to hand this team over to Jackson Arnold. They wanted Jackson Arnold to be the guy on this team. He's the guy. Let's give the guy a chance. That's all I'm saying. Give the guy a chance, okay?
I do think they're throwing the kitchen sink at him, and I think that's good for OU. It's good for Jackson Arnold. But I will say that the people covering the team, I've even watched a couple of things on YouTube from people that cover the team, and they said people are blowing some of this out of proportion because his second interception was a perfect pass, and people are like, 2 interceptions. Like, you can't take that. Like,
hey, here's another thing is, what's funny is listening to some of these comments about Hawkins. A lot of the same people had Thompson, the backup quarterback, over Hawkins. So I don't know where we're going here. I mean, so
yeah.
I
don't either, Jay. I like what Jay Fez says. You know, Kyler and Baker threw picks all the time in practice. That's part of learning is you're in practice. If you want someone to go through practice and never throw a pick, you've got to be kidding yourselves. Sooner fan, I did see Matt Kuchar do this. Unbelievable, absolutely pitiful, ridiculous.
Yes, I agree. Unbelievable. You can't do it. It was bad. Bad decision. Greg God, I'm confused. We can't pick the depth chart, Jay. What do you mean? I'm saying some of the people on here, when asked who would be the backup, say Casey Thompson, those same people are saying Hawkins should have a chance over Arnold. I mean, from 3rd string to 1st string, I mean, that's all I'm saying.
I'm not even going to acknowledge Dylan Gabriel I'm not talking about Team 129. That's the most absurd question that I've ever heard on here. Who was better? He played 1 game. Well, I guess Arkansas State, Arnold was 9 for 9. Perfect.
Hey, this is a good way to kind of end this topic right here. I think Monty says it perfect. Thompson, insurance policy if they need him. Jackson Arnold is the man now, and Hawkins is the future after Jackson Arnold. I agree big time with that comment. That's a big time comment, Monty. I like that.
What else is going on, Jay? I'm done talking about a quarterback battle until I hear more about it. What else? Hey, I got something to talk about.
What's that?
Brennan Thompson was mic'd up, so there is some footage that I saw. Brennan Thompson is a matchup nightmare. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it. I think Brennan Thompson is a matchup nightmare, Jay.
Well, anybody with the amount of speed he has, it should be a nightmare for opposing teams. I mean, you saw what Hollywood Brown did at Oklahoma. He was a matchup nightmare. I mean, if they use Thompson in the right way, he could be that. We'll see how they use him. I don't know how they're going to use him yet. Sooner fan, he should be I've said he should be the backup. Have I not? Jeremy, have I?
You have said that. Okay. I've been saying Thompson, but
I've said for a while that he should be the backup. So
I don't know. I don't understand. I see in the comment why people are arguing about who was better last year, Jackson Arnold or Dylan Gabriel. Jackson Arnold didn't even play. Like, what is that comment? Jay, who was better last year for OU? Jay, who do you think was better last year for OU last year on, let's say, offensive line? Was it Jacob Sexton or was it Heath Azida?
Well, I'm not. Heath Azida.
I'm asking. Who was better last year?
Hey, I'm not Dakota. Thanks for joining tonight. I really wouldn't call it overreaction.
Probably meaning me.
I don't know. I don't know.
Arnold did look good against Tulsa.
The national media. I mean, that's too wide of a range. If you're going to pick a range of 11-1 to 6-6, come on.
Yeah, I did see him return. I did see Brennan Thompson catching punts and kicks. But that doesn't mean anything.
let me ask this, and I see Chuck's comment. That's a good comment too, Chuck. And I think the past 7 years of Oklahoma football at quarterback has led to stuff like this, where people expect a five-star quarterback with no experience to not have any turnovers and not have any issues. And in fact, if you go back and look 3 months ago, I said part of my concern with Oklahoma this year, I can go bookmark it if you want, was the inexperience of Jackson Arnold, and he will have some, especially on the road, he will have some learning moments this year. I've said that. He's going to turn the ball over. I think a lot of people would say that. I don't know why people think he's just going to be a flawless quarterback with no turnovers. He's basically a freshman, okay? It's going to happen. I don't know why we expect him to, not throw any turnovers out there.
Okay, first off, Dakota, I want to say thanks for being on here. I don't know if you're a new viewer, but we do this every night at 9:30. So if this is your first time watching the show, this is kind of who I am. And I'm not going to apologize, but I will say this. I'm upset that Oklahoma isn't on their game. My name is Jeremy, and I'm not upset. Oklahoma hasn't played a game. They haven't played a game, and that's the problem that I have. Like, let's wait till a game is played. Let's not talk about last year. Everyone wants to pick out certain games. I see Eric saying Jackson Arnold was scared, no swagger. Well, I'm telling you, against BYU in the fourth quarter, when two guys are draped on his ankles on an audible play that he called, he made a completion. You can call it scared all you want. That was a pretty big play in a pretty big moment. I don't know why. Let me say one thing. I think the problem that I have is people are setting Jackson Arnold up that if he throws any interceptions, they're going to just say he's done. They're not allowing him. They're not allowing him to even make a mistake, and that season hasn't started. Do you guys understand what I'm saying with that? Like, no one's allowing the people in here who are already on Jackson Arnold are not even giving him a chance to do anything. That's my problem.
Yeah, and I understand that. I saw Chuck's comment again about Manning. You got to be patient with guys. I mean, five-star quarterbacks, they struggle first. A lot of them struggle in their first year. It happens all the time in college football. Probably the only one that didn't. Clemson, Trevor Lawrence had an amazing first season, but a lot of times they do struggle. They're going to struggle in games. I don't understand it either, Jeremy. What I don't get is some of the comments on there about, it's like some of these people are at practice. Like, they've seen him. He doesn't have swagger. I haven't heard from players that he's not having swagger. So I don't know what you base it on right now. There's nothing really to base it on. Now, you can base it off guys like Gabe Eichert, Teddy Lehman that have been at practice and seen it, and they say he's struggling in a scrimmage. Yes. And I'm not arguing with that. Yeah, he probably did turn it over and he made some mistakes. I also know this defense is going to be really stinking good.
Thank you.
They're throwing everything at him, probably to get him ready. And I also know he had guys on offense that wasn't playing. And he is a freshman. Not really, but he kind of is.
Jay, Steve says players and coaches trust Jackson Arnold. I know a lot of people would say, well, they have to. He's their quarterback. Look, I've heard people, players talk about Arnold and the ball comes out of his hand different. How good of a leader he's been. How good of a leader he's been. All those things. They're saying all the things I guess you expect him to say, but also what you just said is very important, Jay. Before everyone just wants to rip on the offense, let's just say the defense may be really, really good like people think.
And Steve Stutzman, yeah, thanks for joining it in. Players and coaches trust Jay. That's all that matters. That's what I was saying. You can read reports. You can see people there. Sounds to me like the players love it. So, and he is the guy. Dylan Gabriel left. Jackson Arnold's a guy. I cannot wait for the first few games and Jackson Arnold tear it up out there and see a lot of people maybe not being so hard on Jackson Arnold. So we'll see. Time will tell.
My whole issue, again, is Chuck, I am fine. I think Jackson Arnold knew exactly what he was getting himself into when he decided to come to OU. That's not the problem. If he were to struggle in games and people are criticizing him, fine. Everyone has the right to. But no one's even, like, what have you seen in spring And now, what have you personally seen to say this guy's not the guy? That's my only problem with this.
Hey, Scott, I know you're a Tennessee guy. Who's the backup there? They better get him ready, I guess.
And here we are again. Who cares about Team 129 last year in the bowl game? Like, I'm about 130. Team 130's here. I'm super excited about it. Let's talk about Team 130, Jay. One person that was on the graphic of this, because OU is ranked 16th, ranked 16th in the nation in the AP poll today, behind 7 other SEC schools. You have Casey Thompson and Danny Okoye both wearing number 16 for OU. Danny Okoye has been, I've heard people say he's a freak. He's a super freak. And it sounds like, and hopefully it's what I see, Jay, is that defensive end room is going to be a committee. And that's what I want to see on that position. I want to see 6 guys.
I think that's one position you can rotate guys in, and it actually helps because guys are fresh, pin their ears back, whatever they need them to do, can get to the quarterback, whatever it is. You got guys that do things differently too on there. I mean, I don't think Woolard and Okoye are the same player at all. I don't think Ethan Downs and PJ Adebawore are the same type player. They have their own little niche, and I think you can play a lot of guys on that edge. Chuck says, we are listening to you guys and the content you put out, and that's why we listen. And there are guys that say he's struggling. That's all, man. And Chuck, listen, I agree with that. There is people out there saying that, and that's fine. And I can understand that. But what I'm saying is that who did not, and I'm asking everybody in the chat, who did not expect Jackson Arnold to have struggles? He's a young quarterback playing against a really good defense in practice. Like, that's my thing is I don't understand. Who thought Jackson Arnold would go out there and never throw an interception in practice and not struggle at all? I actually thought, said it again 3 months ago, I've already said this once, that would be part of his problem, would be the inexperience. So,
first off,
there's going to be learning curves. There's going to be.
Craig, I think that PJ Adebawore could have a breakout season. I'm here for it. I know someone just said Jeremy didn't say that. I never, ever once said that Jackson Arnold's not going to throw interceptions. I'm not going to talk about scrimmages, and I'm not going to talk about practices. If he starts throwing several picks early in the year, I'll start criticizing. But I'm not going to talk about it now.
Hey, let me say this real quick. I watched a spring game back in 2000, and the quarterback did not look very good at all. And
Josh Heupel looked bad.
Josh Heupel, I was concerned for the season, to be honest with you. Arm strength, everything I watched, I was like, I just don't know if he's the guy. Well, and by no means am I comparing the two. I'm just saying you can't take everything from a few practices or a spring game or a scrimmage, whatever. We'll see it against Temple. I mean, that's all you can really do. So,
hey, y'all are welcome to talk about it. I just said I don't want to talk about last year. Jay, someone brought up Kendall Dolby, and honestly, for the season that Kendall Dolby had last year, he is not being talked about very much. I mean, would you agree with that, Jay?
I would. I just kind of think there's so many guys, and I don't think anybody really knows what they're going to do defensively. They may throw 5 defensive backs out there. I mean, nobody really knows what they're going to do with that position and kind of in the back half. I just think there's so many different weapons they can use back there, and I think they're going to be multiple in what they do, that it's not like he's a wide receiver going to play every down. He's going to play a lot, and he's going to make an impact. I just wonder how they're going to use him. I mean, he was great blitzing last year. He was great in that position he was playing, but we'll see what they do with him. I think he is kind of under the radar. Chuck says here how good people say he's doing. We're going to know, J-Fizz, we're going to know a lot more at the first 3 games. I would agree. But, hey, let's get to trivia.
3 nights away, Jay. Fan Stop.
Sponsored by the Fan Stop, www.thefanstop.com. Check them out. Officially licensed OU gear. Remember, if you use code SURGE, you get 10% off your first 3 months of the shirt of the month. Basically, you sign up for the shirt of the month subscription. Every month, you get a new OU shirt, and they're all different. They're all different colors. They're all different designs. You can walk around and have 30 shirts. It's great. So sign up for it. And you get your name on the wheel 7 times for the OU versus Houston tickets, which we know they'll be wearing the throwback uniforms that game. Here we go. Trivia tonight. OU, number 16 in the AP poll. Since the AP poll, this is a tough question. Hunter came up with this one. So, since the AP poll began, what is the percentage of time the OU has been ranked in the AP poll? This is a tough question.
Yeah. We'll see how quickly.
And I'll say this. There's only one team that has a higher percentage, and that's the Ohio State Buckeyes. That's the only team that has a higher percentage in Oklahoma. So, what is the percentage? Man, y'all are very close. I'll give you that. You're very close. No one's got it on the nose yet. Bobby got it. Bobby, again, continues his really good trivia nights. 88%. Oklahoma has been in there 88% of the time. That's a ridiculous amount. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, Bobby. You get your name on there again.
There was a comment earlier, Jay, about I can't. Oh, Barnes, Richard Ramirez from Facebook joining us. Appreciate it, Richard. Is Barnes the best running back? Here's what I'll say. Based on looks, he's a guy who I think has the physicality and some of the breakaway speed, but I don't know for sure if he's going to be the starter. I think it's Salchuk, really, but everyone has said Barnes has looked great. But if that's the case, and here's what I say, why is no one talking about Barnes? I want to see Tatum, too.
Yeah, I'd like to see Tatum run, too. I think Salchuk's going to be an unbelievable player. I agree with Bobby. Salchuk's going to perform big time this year.
Everyone's saying Barnes is looking really good, Jay.
That's fine. I think Barnes will contribute, but I think Salchuk's on a different level. I think Salchuk has an unbelievable year this year as the guy at Oklahoma. I think he's going to have that year.
I do as well.
And I do think Javonte Barnes has made big strides, and for him, that's the thing. They are talking Barnes. I've seen a lot of people talking him recently. That he's made big strides. He looks good, and that he might challenge for that spot. I mean, who knows? I think he could if he's healthy. That's the problem. I think Salchuk is quite a bit faster than Barnes. I do think Barnes is a little more physical, but Salchuk's upper body and legs, man, he's built pretty good. He can break a lot of tackles. So
Tatum definitely looks the part. I want to shout out again to the fan stop because the shirts are unbelievable. That when you sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club and you start seeing these shirts roll in every month, they're all very, very high quality, great design, always unique. And again, thanks to the fan stop for allowing us to do this OU Houston ticket giveaway. I know it's going to mean a lot to the winner, and it really is just something cool to do on here. We appreciate the fan stop. Fan stop says he's being judged on the bowl game with new offensive coordinator that was not calling his offense and a makeshift offensive line. That's what I've been saying a long time. I mean, you were missing the starting center, Andrew Raymond. You're missing Caden Green, arguably your best tackle on the team.
Yeah, and Kim's right. I agree with her comment. Dakota, glad you're on here, man. Keep coming back, man. It's a bunch of good OU fans on here, good community. Sooner Cowboy says quietly, man, one of the best running back rooms in the country. What was I going to get to? Oh, I saw a stat where it was talking about last year's defense. It had the stats. And I think and I was looking at the stats where they ranked last year nationally. There's one specifically, well, two, I would say, stats that have to be a lot better. And I think they will be. Do you know what they are defensively?
Well, they were better in short yardage and they were better in third down, I think.
But what has to be better this year?
First down.
Defense, passing yards per game, I think they were ranked in the 70s. I'd like to see that higher. The other one is, I think it was 20 plus or something yards plays, like 106 on busted plays, basically. You can't. That's the one thing that the big plays. That's what they got to eliminate, in my opinion. That's where they can make the biggest jump, because you can have a great game going yardage wise. Some guy breaks a 75-yard pass play and it changes the stats, it changes the game all of it. So it's got to be.
I'm going to say something because I'm not able to keep up. There's a lot of people on here We appreciate every one of you. I can't keep up with all the comments, but if it ever gets personal between viewers, we're gonna have to look. Let's be respectful. If you want to disagree, fine. I try to always respectfully disagree, but let's not get personal in anything. That's not what we're about here. I promise you that. It sounds like to me. It sounds like Gentry Williams, which again, until I hear something from Gentry or coach, I'm not going to speculate that he's out for any period of time. I don't care what people on message boards are saying. I don't care. I don't read those for a reason.
Yeah, and Chuck says, Jeremy, you're 100% on we will know when Jackson Arnold plays, but until then, we must have content. Good or bad, we must talk about it, friend.
Well, I don't care to talk about it. It's what are we basing it on?
And here's the thing, and that's what I love about even doing this every night, because there's not a whole lot of, I promise you, there's not a whole lot of college football teams that have a nightly live where people can talk football, and you guys do it every night with us, so we appreciate it. And that's the thing. We can dissect practices, scrimmage, all we want, right? That's fair. But all I'm saying is until it's in an actual game, and listen, Friday night at 10 p.m. after the Temple game, we'll probably be just dissecting it for an hour of how Jackson Arnold plays. So, and everything's fair game in real games. So
I think that first off, I haven't seen the breakdown today, and according to Eric, Teddy said Gentry's already back, and that's my point. When I get upset about people see or read something and they take it to the extreme, just like the Gentry Williams. Fans took it to the extreme, just like an interception that was a great ball. Sometimes people take things to the extreme. So to me,
hey, real quick,
I do like Zach Alley.
There was a couple of things I was going to say. Yeah.
Deion Burks, we have to talk about.
Yeah, J-Fest, the Zach Alley stuff, and that's the biggest thing I took from the Breakdowns podcast was when Teddy was talking about the guys lined up. There was no, fire drill. They all knew. They all knew where they were going to be. Oh, my goodness. Did Tyler Walker just join the membership? Eric,
Eric's wish came true.
Eric, you've been hollering for that. Tyler, first off, thank you. We do appreciate it. And it'll be clean in the Discord. No personal attacks, Eric or Tyler.
Tyler, send us an email at ousportsroundup@gmail.com. We'll send you the link to the Discord. Hey,
Jay, I was going to get to something real quick.
Oh, okay.
If I can find it. Dang it. Oh, this comment right here. Eric, I'd have to disagree with you on this. I promise you, if Jackson Arnold throws a pick or whatever against Temple, it'll start, okay? It's not going to just start on the Tennessee game. OU fans will dissect every throw he makes against Temple. Look, we're not even playing games yet at Oklahoma. They aren't. And everybody's dissecting it.
Exactly.
So
not going to wait till
Tennessee. They will dissect the Temple game. They will.
Yeah, we're dissecting scrimmages. Deion Burks caught a 64 and a 50-yard touchdown pass in the spring game. He is going to be absolutely elite. They've actually been holding him out of some things from what I've heard. So there again, you also have receivers that aren't really playing.
I'm not saying you have, Eric. I'm not saying you have. Sorry if it came across that way. Chief Tieber says, Eric, the Sooner Surge recruiting coordinator. There you go. Getting guys on.
Tyler, ousportsroundup@gmail.com. Send us an email. We'll send you the link. Thanks for joining.
That would be great, Bobby.
Jay, you owe a 42, I believe.
Dissect it, baby. Why do I owe anybody 40?
I don't know. Just because I want to see you run one.
The last time I ran a 40 against you, I beat you. And that wasn't too long ago. So
I understand everyone saying the Temple game is a joke, but it's Temple. It's not playing OU. People are already talking about OU against OU. They're going to talk about OU against Temple. Everything's going to be embellished. It'll be great. I'll be here for it, probably for an hour and a half or 2 hours on that night. And Corey, you asked when I'll be back in BA. I'm usually there on the weekends visiting. I was actually there tonight visiting my dad who turned 84. We appreciate everyone that's been praying for him. Didn't know if he'd make it 84, but was able to spend some time with him tonight and try to cherish every day you have. So, yeah, I'll try to reach reach out to you, Corey. If you want to email me, Corey at ousportsroundup@gmail.com, and maybe we can get in touch.
Yeah, the Discord's already fun. It's going to get even better. But here's the thing. There's a lot of ways you can help the channel. One is just by liking this video. It does help.
Right now, hit the button.
Hit the like button. The other way is, yes, for sure. I mean, we have an unlimited membership where you can join the Discord and you can talk throughout the day with us. It's fun. I promise you. Sometimes gets a little, I don't even know the word for it. Not like in a bad way. It's just like when you're, so like for instance, today I was working and I felt like if I wasn't on that Discord, I was missing out. So I had to get off it for a minute and came back on with some stuff. But yeah, some good stuff there.
Okay, let me share. The choker is from a mission trip that I went on with my son. I've been wearing it ever since, and I'll probably wear it maybe the rest of my life unless it breaks. What's your question, Dakota? Dakota had a question for me. Yeah, Dad's birthday was today, August 12th, 84 years old.
That's right, Ron. I don't do it when I'm out at work. That's what I'm saying. It just can't do it.
And Skyler, again, everything that you're hearing is great news as far as culture, as far as team. They're bought into what BV has been trying to create. I love it. And now the next step is let's see it every single week, week in, week out. Let's not lose the teams that you should beat. Let's be highly competitive against the big-time teams.
I think Dakota, as he talking about Chapman McCown.
Do I know who that 5'5"?
I think he's talking about Chapman.
Yeah, it's not. It's yeah. Was he a PWOJ?
Yes, I believe so.
Out of Norman somewhere around there.
Hey, I remember last year, I think he got injured, but before he did, he was making some highlight reels. Hey, Chief, thanks so much for the super. That's another way you can help, and we really do appreciate that.
It does help us.
Chief, you're a big-time help for us. We appreciate it. This is the best OU show in community. Love it. Means a lot. Really does. I think that's who he's talking about is Chapman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to hash DG again, but
absolutely not, Jay. It's too late in this show to be hashing over that. Now, I will say, if people are going to really view what people are saying about the scrimmage, then your viewpoint of this defense should be raising.
I think that's probably the thing to take away from it more than the Jackson Arnold stuff is maybe how good the defense is. I mean, there's a lot of people, even OU fans, I think, that aren't sold on it yet. But I think they're going to be. Once the season starts, they're going to be sold. And even the national media, I think a lot of them have OU picked around 4th or 5th, SEC-wise, in defense. I think it's going to be more, maybe 3, worse. I think 3. I'm going to Georgia, Alabama. And listen, I don't know. Alabama's got a new defensive coordinator. They're going through some changes. We'll see. They got talent all over the field. That's the thing.
I'm going to say something, maybe the smartest thing I've said all night. You guys ready for it? Get ready. I think the fact that what Kenneth says, I agree with, and I did not agree with this a week ago. People have been saying that both Jackson Arnold and Hawkins can run really well. The fact that if Hawkins is as good as people are saying, then you can stand to run Jackson Arnold some because you have a guy behind him that can play. And maybe you can utilize the running game of the quarterback. That's one thing. But I will say, everyone said that both quarterbacks had absolutely no time to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's what was advertised, though, with the recruiting classes on the defensive line you had coming in, the transfer portal. I mean, I think that's what all OU fans wanted to see. I want to see the defense dominate. Really, if the defense dominates and this offense averages 27 points a game and they win, I'm all down for it.
Absolutely.
Winning means everything. Winning, that's all I care about. However you got to do it. Thanks, Dakota, for being there tonight. Appreciate it.
Hey, great God. I agree with you. And in the bowl game, they didn't allow it. They weren't doing any RPOs in that game. And you could tell there were some times I think he wanted to, and I don't think that was part of the game plan. Jackson Arnold is faster than Dylan Gabriel, from what I've heard.
Yes. Dylan Gabriel was a little bit sneaky.
He was sneaky.
He was sneaky. So
Dakota, every night, 9:30, whenever you're able, join us up. We'll be on here every night.
That's right.
Yeah, you could be a USC fan, Sooner Freak.
Hey, one more thing. Make sure, because there's only, 2 days left? Are we drawing on the 15th or 16th?
I believe it's the 16th is the drawing, Jay.
So you got 3 days left to get your name
Friday the 16th.
For the OU Houston tickets. Remember the ways you can get on there. You answer the trivia question correct. That's one name on there. You join unlimited membership, the Discord. That's 2 names you get in there. And what else is it? Obviously, the fan stop. You join the fan stop 7 times. Is there anything I'm missing? I think that's all the ways you get on there. So
let me say this. Big shout out to Tyler. Gray God says, Bobby, congrats on the tickets, because Bobby's got his name most. I will agree with that. But if you have signed up for the Shirt of the Month Club and you have not emailed us at ousportsroundup@gmail.com, we need you to email us so we can make sure that you have signed up and put your name 7 times on the wheel.
Hey, real quick.
You can win it with your name on there once.
Hey, real quick. I gotta say something here. Tyler, I wish I could get season tickets. I wish I could go to 3 or 4 games a year. Realistically, driving wise, for me, it's just not doable. And people that live across country, it's very hard. And I don't think anything less of people that can't get to a game. If they're a fan, they're a fan. Now, obviously, I want as many people to go to the games as possible. I'd like to go to more myself. I'm just saying it's hard sometimes with family, with driving. It's hard. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Hey, Dakota, I can't wait for the first game. It's, a little over 2 weeks. Appreciate everyone. Again, shout out to Tyler for being a Sooner Surge Unlimited member tonight. We'll see you on the Discord. Make sure you email us, though. You've said you have. So I appreciate everyone that's on here, each and every one of you. Big, major shout out to the Fan Stop, who continues to support our channel and our content and has a great product that you all need to check out. Check out that long sleeve shirt option, Shirt of the Month, that you get a few long sleeve shirts and a couple of hoodies. It'll be well worth it. So check them out, thefanstop.com. Thank you, each of you. We appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow night for a terrific Tuesday night here on the Sooner Surge. Till next time.